Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com, and welcome to Omega Power. I want more power. So the reason why I got into the business I was in was, on one hand, I was really good at sports, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, football, straight A student, great in music, great in art. I really was weak when it came to social power. I always had a nice car. I had a really nice 280ZX. It was a 1982, the anniversary edition, leather seats, fully loaded air conditioning, just everything. I mean, it was just, back then, that was the car to have. I had it in around, I think it was 1988 or 89 when I bought it. So it was only about 6 or 7 years old at the time. In fact, here it is. This is literally exactly the way it looked. I mean, when I first bought it, it was like brand new. So here I am driving around in this car. At the time, I was actually ranked number 1 in the nation in kickboxing. I just got out of Chico State Division II wrestling. I was on that team. High school, I was captain of the section championship football team. We were ranked number 8 in the nation at one point, and in California, I think at the end of the year, I think we ended up being ranked number 2 or number 3. I can't remember actually how that went out, but the point being was, here I was, good-looking guy in perfect shape, muscular, dominant, everything that you guys think is what women are looking for. Now, let me tell you how my life went. I had one girlfriend in high school, and she treated me like absolute dirt, and I mean dirt. And I put up with it because I couldn't get any other girl. Now, even when I did, she broke up with me one day. It got around campus because she did it on what do you call it, on the quad where everybody was eating for lunch. She did it out loud. She was trying to humiliate me. Well, she did it at break. And then at lunchtime, the cutest girl in school, who somehow I'd never seen her. I'm like, well, who's this? And she walked up to me. She goes, "Hi, Mike. My name is so-and-so," and blah, 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 blah. She goes, "Will you take me to the party tonight?" And I'm like, "What party?" She goes, "It's at blah." I was like, "Yeah, sure." Now, I had a car in high school, and I had to meet her parents. Well, her father loved me. When he found out she was dating me, he was like, "Oh, wow." He was real big. And then there was another girl I dated who was also a blonde, and her dad met me. He was like, "You're my hero," and he literally gave me the okay to go ahead, if you know what I'm saying. Now you're looking at me going, "Man, that guy's got the world." Everything except for the girls. Alright, that first blonde, the really super cute one, probably the cutest, prettiest girl I've ever dated in my life, ever. She never spoke to me again after that. Like, we went out, had fun, she talked to some people, kind of bounced around, came back to me, and she literally went home with her friends. I approached her at school the next day. She just said, "Oh, I'm busy," and she just walked away. I mean, we never spoke again, and I was like, "Oh, okay." So then I took my girlfriend back, because she came back, she heard I was out with her, which made her want me back, And so again, she broke up with me another time. Then there was this other blonde who wanted to go out with me, and we started the date, and that was one whose father, he was like, "Oh man, you're Mike Kollin, wow, I follow your stats," and this guy followed everything. And it was kind of weird. I was like, okay, that's weird, but he liked me. He gave me the go ahead. The mother was there. They loved me. And the first girls, by the way, I didn't tell you, the first girl, she goes, "Well, the only thing is you actually have to pick me up at my house." I'm like, "Well, of course, where else am I going to pick you up?" She goes, "Well, you got to come inside for a while and you got to talk to my parents." I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure." Well, the parents loved me. The dad loved me. So you would think with all these things, I would have it in with the girls. No. So this second blonde that I was dating, we didn't date very long. We kind of dated a little here, a little there, but man, she was just grumpy and irritated all the time. And I was like, and she just ended up not wanting to be with me. It was kind of like, kind of broke my heart, to be honest with you. I couldn't get a girl, and it was all 4 years in high school. I had one girlfriend and these 2 other little excursions, which nothing really came of it. So it was kind of, it hurt. I remember after I turned 21, whenever I'd go to the bar, I was, when I moved away from school, I went alone, and nobody would talk to me. And it was like, I'd talk to girls, they'd talk to me for a minute or two, okay, gotta go, and they'd walk away, and I didn't have a clue. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing wrong. I did not get it at all. I remember the lonely nights, and I mean for a long time, just going home alone. It was the most heart-wrenching feeling. It just hurt. I remember this one night I went to this bar. It was about 4 or 5 blocks away, and it wasn't just like a bar. It was kind of like a lounge. They served food and stuff, so it was kind of a nice place. And nobody would talk to me, and I ended up talking to this fat girl. And sorry, I'm not trying to be rude, but she was big, and I mean robust to say the least. And we laughed, and it was like for some, okay, because she was probably not the best looking girl. I just felt comfortable with her, and we talked and laughed and had a good time and stuff. And I said, you know what, I'm about to go home. I go, if you want, we can exchange numbers and talk sometime. And she looked at me. She goes, why? I'm like, oh, I thought we had a good time. She's, no, we did, but why? I'm like, well, I don't know. I'd like to talk to you again. And she goes, you're not my type. Here I am, blonde, blue, clean cut, bench pressing. I think at the time I was benching 365. I was a big dude. I was strong. I was in kickboxing. Was ranked #1 in the nation. And I had that 280 ZX. And she's telling me I'm not her type. Now you got to understand. I don't mean she was overweight. She was. What's the word I'm looking for? There's another word for it. I don't want to say a bad word, but she was big. That not only blew my mind. It was devastating. It was just like. What? I am fucking telling you guys, beyond a fucking shadow of a doubt, you think it's your fucking looks, you think it's your muscles. I am telling you. Alright, I've got another quick story. I had a client about 15 years ago. He was a professional football player. He played in the Arena League when the Arena League was huge. And he played here in, I think it was the San Jose area. I think he lived in Oakland. They paid him, I think it was a little over $250,000 a year. I think it was like $285,000 a year. And he goes, Mike, they paid for everything. They would pay for our clothes. We'd get free this and free that. He goes, Mike, I'd get free hotel stays. He goes, everything. He goes, it was unbelievable. He goes, and I go, so then why are you here? He goes, well, I got injured. He goes, I can't play anymore. I'm like, okay, so? He goes, I can't meet girls. Now, you got to understand, this guy was in fucking perfect shape. This guy was muscular. He was a running back. This dude was a good-looking dude. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And here's the thing. He was cool. Now, I think he was about 28 years old when he came to me. Maybe a little bit older, but around that age. And I'm like, so what's the problem? Well, I played football my whole life. I'm like, yeah. He goes, so what? After the football game, I'd always get a girl, get a new one. I'm like, high school and football. I'm like, okay. He goes, and then, at the Arena League, they know we're making a lot of money. He goes, I know I'm not like an NFL player, but, I'm making way more than the average dude. Plus bonuses and everything on top of that. I'm like, okay. And he goes, we would walk out of the locker room. He goes, Mike, there were women waiting for us. We could literally just grab, He goes, I looked around. Oh, she's hot. He goes, I would literally grab a girl and say, come with me. He goes, that's all I did. He goes, I knew they were there because of the fame and for the money and all that stuff. He goes, I understood that. I go, okay, so what now? He goes, I don't know how to meet girls. He goes, I can't do that at a club. Guys, I have had guys that are multi-millionaires who've not only been divorced, but then they tell me, like, I can't get a date. I'm like, well, what do you mean? Well, he's like, yeah, I can meet women online or, I can get a date. But then after 1, maybe 2 dates, they never talk to me again. Guys, I am fucking... Now, here's the deal. These guys are smart. They're rich. And these are good-looking guys that are in phenomenal shape that hire trainers. I am telling you, there is something else that women want from men, and it triggers their mating system. And I teach it in my course, Cracked Female Code. Now, first you buy the book Cracked Female Code before taking the course. This is the manual to the course, by the way, but the book cover is the same. You can instantly download this book right now. Go to crackedfemalecode.com or mikekollin.com. In this book, I talk about how her mating system is connected, what triggers her mating system, and the hidden way. I also explain in depth on how women process communication and information differently. Now, why is this important? Because her mating system is connected to her right brain's, not the logical left brain, but her right brain's communication center. That's really important to differentiate between that, because you guys are, but Mike, that's not logical. I know logic doesn't trigger it, because when you're in your left brain, the logical brain, the male brain, it pulls her over to her left brain, and now you just disconnected her from her right brain. We need to get you to speak in the right brain language. Boom, you just triggered her mating system. Now she's attracted. I talk about neurology, I talk about the difference between the left and the right brain, I talk about where the mating system is, how it's wired to the right brain. I talk about how we communicate in different ways. One thing men do is they say A and they mean A. That's single picture. There's one picture. When a woman's in her right brain, she might say A, which is the logical definition, but actually mean picture B. The first picture that she says is symbolic of what she's talking about. That's not what she means. She means something deeper, B. When you learn how to use this pattern, suddenly women get turned on, they get sexually triggered, and they want to mate with you. This book, Cracked Female Code, is loaded 500 pages of science, of understanding psychology, female psychology, how to directly trigger her mating system, and on and on and on. You will walk away after reading that book a changed man. Your whole perspective on women is about to change. Go to crackedfemalecode.com or go to the link in the description box. Alright guys, click subscribe, click the like button, go ahead and make a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.